New York, July 1970, Jackie Stewart, Formula One world champion, straps into a car that looks like a shoebox with two fans bolted to the back. Nobody on the grid has seen anything like that before. Within one single lap, Stewart secures third place, behind only the two factory McLarens, in a car built by a tiny unknown shop in Texas, racing against teams from McLaren, Porsche, and Ferrari. Less than a year later, that car has vanished. Erased from the series, banned outright, never allowed to race again. And the strange part is, when it was approved to race, officials had already looked at it and said it followed the rules. This is the dark story of the 1970 Chaparral 2J. Chaparral Cars was based in Midland, Texas, run by two men, Jim Hall and Hap Sharp. They were known to be a small independent team, but they secretly had a close and quiet relationship with General Motors. Chevrolet engineers sent Chaparral many experimental parts: automatic transmissions, aluminum V8 engines. Technology GM's own corporate policy barred it from testing through a factory-backed team. In exchange, Chaparral gave GM real racing data. That arrangement mattered because it let Hall experiment in ways bigger teams could not. And by the mid-1960s, Hall was chasing a problem that most of racing had not seriously tackled yet: downforce, the force that presses a car into the track and lets it corner faster. In 1966, Chaparral introduced the 2E. It carried a tall wing, mounted on struts connected directly to the rear suspension, controlled by a pedal in the cockpit. Release the pedal, and the wing sat at full angle for maximum downforce through a corner. Press it, and the wing flattened out for low drag on the straight. It worked, and it instantly caught the attention of the FIA. By the end of the decade, wings like this one were banned, first in Formula One in 1969, then in Can-Am in 1970. The official reason was that a wing connected to the suspension counted as a movable aerodynamic device, a part that changes shape or angle for aerodynamic effect while the car is moving. With the wing gone, Hall needed a new way to generate downforce, one that did not rely on shaping the air flowing over the car. His answer was the 2J, introduced in 1970. Instead of pushing air down onto the car, it pulled air out from underneath it. Here is how it worked. Two fans sat at the rear of the car, driven by their own small engine. Separate from the main V8, rigid plastic skirts linked to the suspension to track the ground sealed the space beneath the car's underside. When the fans ran, they evacuated air from that sealed space, creating a vacuum. The car was, in effect, sucked down onto the track. This solved a problem that wings never could. A wing only works when air is moving fast enough across it, so downforce drops off in slow corners and disappears at a standstill. The 2J's vacuum worked the same at any speed, including zero. The SCCA initially agreed it didn't violate the wording of the existing rule. No moving wing, no angled surface changing shape, just fans and a sealed skirt. But that agreement would not hold for long. At Watkins Glen International Racetrack, the car backed up the theory. Jackie Stewart qualified third in a machine that had barely been tested. Over the course of the season, the 2J was reported to be roughly 2 seconds, a lap faster than the next quickest car, a gap that in a modern series would be closer to embarrassing than competitive. But the car struggled to finish races. The engine that was driving the fans was unpredictable. The brakes, which were never designed for cornering forces this high, overheated. Reliability was the 2J's real weakness throughout the 1970 season, and that weakness bought it time. Rivals could point to a car that qualified brilliantly and then broke down and tell themselves it was not yet a finished threat. But that did not last long. As the season went on, complaints started reaching the SCCA. McLaren, the dominant team at the time, argued that if the 2J kept improving, it would ruin competition in the series. Other drivers complained about a more physical problem. Debris pulled up from the track by the fans, thrown backward at cars following close behind. Then came the technical argument, the one that carried real weight. Rivals pointed out that the fans and skirts were in function, doing exactly what the band wings used to do. They were changing the aerodynamic behaviour of the car through a moving part while the car was in motion. Under a broad enough reading, that made them a movable aerodynamic device too, the same phrase that had already ended the wing era just 1 year earlier. At the end of the 1970 season, the SCCA reversed itself. The 2J, a car it had approved to race, was ruled illegal under that same standard. It never competed again. It is worth sitting with how strange that timeline is. The SCCA looked at the 2J before the season and approved it. They looked at the same car after the season, applying the same identical rule, and banned it. What changed was how badly Chaparral's rivals needed that rule to apply. Can-Am ran on a prize fund, and for McLaren, that fund was reportedly a significant part of its annual income. A car that wins by 2 seconds a lap, race after race, does more than embarrass the competition. It starts pulling money and sponsorship away from every team that cannot keep up. When McLaren argued publicly that the 2J would ruin the series, they were describing a real financial risk to themselves. Even though McLaren had been the one dominating Can-Am since 1967, the 2J was never beaten while running, but it was beaten in a single meeting in a boardroom by the only opponents fast enough to actually feel it coming. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss anything cars and business.